So you may or may not have been paying attention to any real estate news lately, so we wanted to update all of our family, our friends, our clients, and all of the above about the things that will be changing in our industry in the very near future for buyers, sellers, and our agents. So this year, the National Association of Realtors, the NAR, settled a series of lawsuits that challenged the organization's practices related to how real estate agents are compensated. Now, this lawsuit alleged that the NAR and specific large brokerages conspired to inflate commission rates paid by the sellers through a practice called tying. This tying required sellers agents to set the commission for a buyer's agents when a home was listed in the MLS system. Now, this MLS system varies from state to state, but it's basically how agents list homes and how things like Zillow and Redfin ultimately get the listings. Now, rather than continuing litigation, NAR came to a settlement that will come into effect on or around August 17th of this year, so in a week or so. And this changes what it's going to look like for you as a seller or a buyer in the very near future. Now, we wanted to keep you informed of this so that you're not blindsided by new policies and changes that are coming. And before we get into what this settlement does for you and for us, we wanted to preface this by saying that this is new for everyone in the industry nationwide. Things will most likely change as we learn what does and doesn't work for buyers and sellers in the future. So what we are going to talk about will most likely not be the same a year from now. We'll continue to keep you in the loop as things do change so that you are better prepared as we enter this new territory. For sellers going forward, we're no longer able to post what you as the seller are willing to contribute to a buyer's agent. Now, for example, it historically may have been told to you that a selling agent's listing fee would be, say, 5%. Now, half of that would generally go to the listing agent, and half of that would generally go to the buyer's agent that successfully brought in a buyer to the sale. Now, that 2.5% was traditionally posted in the MLS so that the buyer's agent had access to that when they looked up your home. Now, this is no longer allowed to be put in the MLS. That does not mean that you as a seller cannot contribute to the buyer's agent. It only means that we can't post that online in our system. Our company's new listing agreement, when you list with us, will only have our listing fee in it. It will not include any buyer's compensation amount. This has always been a negotiable fee, and I think we as agents did a poor job of advising sellers on this, hence the lawsuit. Now, you'll still be able to offer compensation to the buyer's agent, and we can verbally talk about the amount and the pros and cons of offering a compensation or not. But going forward, we will not require a buyer's agent compensation in our listing agreements. For buyers going forward, you will be required to sign a buyer's agent agreement before we can tour a home with you. This is new to our business as we normally have not had our buyers sign anything at all. So this is new to us as well, but as part of the settlement, it's now mandatory to sign an agreement. Now, our company has chosen to allow the contract to be terminated at no cost and at any time. We love working with our clients, but also understand that sometimes it's not a good fit. So we want to follow the new rules, but allow our buyers the option to back out if the timing isn't right, or they just want to be done with shopping for a bit. Some agents will charge you a termination fee, so please read these documents carefully before signing with an agent. These agreements will include a compensation rate for the agent that successfully helps you close on your next home. That could be a flat fee, a percentage, or an hourly rate. Our company has chosen to do a percentage fee similar to the listing fee we traditionally have seen. This is the biggest change, in my opinion, that we will see going forward. Buyers are going to have to sign a contract saying that they will contribute to the buyer's agent on the sale of a home. Now, this is a huge deal for the obvious reasons that buyers are already being priced out of homes and now will have to potentially pay their agent as well. But this is what has come from this lawsuit, and the lawyers in this lawsuit apparently thought this would be more fair. So here we are. Now, the media has made this lawsuit seem like a victory for buyers and sellers, and though I do appreciate the transparency issues that they addressed, it does not help buyers or sellers in our opinion. As a buyer, you may think, well, I'm just going to go to the selling agent and work with them, so I don't have to pay anything. But selling agents represent the seller. They will potentially represent you in the sale of a home, but most selling agents that are worth it are not going to do it for free. You will still have to sign a buyer's representation agreement with them as well, and that will include their compensation. So my first recommendation is to not freak out and to stick with us or a reputable agent throughout this process. We can not only show you our value, but to walk you through negotiating the fees involved in the contract. First thing is that from what we have been seeing, sellers are still willing to compensate buyer's agents like normal. They see the benefit of offering some sort of compensation and realize that buyers already have a significant burden financially when purchasing a home, and that paying for a buyer's agent will only make matters worse. Now, the second thing is our company has been successful in negotiating the compensation into the sale of the home for our buyers. For example, if a seller is not offering a buyer's agent commission, we have been able to successfully negotiate the buyer's agreed upon compensation into the sales agreement so that the buyer is not having to cover it. Each home that you see as a buyer will be different, and the compensation that's being offered will change each home you visit. Having an agent and a company to represent you that knows what they're doing, knows the law changes and rules that are coming into effect, and will represent you and show you the service and value you deserve is more important than ever. There are going to be cut rate agents and brokerages out there promising you the world for free, but these changes in real estate are uncharted and you want to go with the best moving forward and not necessarily the cheapest. We will continue to update you as these changes occur, but these are the big ones that you'll see in the coming days and weeks. We are always open to chat about it and talk it over with you if you have any questions, so always feel free to call, text, or email me or Christina, and we will make some time to go over what it looks like for you in the future. We also have new buyer's guides and seller's guides that are updated to give you the latest on all this stuff, as well as some easy to read brochures that will help you answer some common questions about this lawsuit as well. Let us know if you would like any of those. Again, this is nothing to freak out over, and Skipper Realty Group is committed to making the process seamless for buyers and sellers, even through all these changes and the hype. Thank you, and I hope to talk to you guys soon.